fires and for those fighting the fires. Protect them and hold them close. Remind them that despite the circumstances, they are still your personal concern and that they never disappear from your radar screen. We trust our state to your loving care, Lord. Send your Spirit to touch the hearts of each of our state's leaders. I thank you that you can be their standard. I pray that you would be the mark toward which they strive. Give them the wisdom to know what is right and the courage to do it. Father, give our governor your wisdom as she leads the executive branch of our government. I lift up to you President Masterson, Vice President Schallenberger, Majority Leader Blasey, and Minority Leader Sykes. Give them your direction as together they lead this chamber through the 2025 legislative session. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Corey Carnahan will serve as the Secretary of the Senate until such time a permanent secretary is appointed. Clerk will call the roll.
Marcy Francisco. Rick Cluse. David Haley. Jeff Klimp. Pat Petty. Ethan Corson. Cindy Holscher. Beverly Gossage. Mike Thompson. Kelly Warren. Karen Tyson. Tim Schallenberger. Michael Fagg. Virgil Peck. Ty Masterson. Mike Argabright. Kenny Titus. Patrick Smith. Brenda Dietrich. Dinah Sykes. Brad Starnes. Adam Thomas. J.R. Clays. Mary Ware. Chase Blasey. Joe Clays. Mike Peterson. Oletha Faust-Godot. Renee Erickson. Stephen Owens. Larry Alley. Tori Marie Blue. Michael Murphy. TJ Rose. Elaine Bowers. Douglas Shane. Ronald Reichman. William Clifford. Rick Billinger.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank the Minority Party as the Secretary of State to remind everybody, put your phones on mute. I double-checked mine, and I could, if someone called me, I would have been guilty. All that being said, it's my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Dan Biles as Justice of the Supreme Court, who will be administering the oath of office today. Senators, you're going to take your oath of office in 5 districts at a time, and then we'll be patient, as I know you have family members to join you. So just be efficient as we switch folks out, and we'll get you to your business for the rest of the session. That being said, we're going to start with Group 1, which would be Senator Bowser, Senator Francisco, Senator Cluse, Senator Haley, and Senator Klump.
It's on the floor.
For Group 2, go ahead and invite your guests in. Group 1, if you can slowly make your way to the exit so we can rotate some people in. And on your way home, you can remind everybody you were in the most beautiful room in the state of Kansas. We'll go ahead and announce the next group as their families join us here in the chamber. Group number 2, if you want to go ahead and start making your way towards the podium, Senator Petty, Senator Corson, Senator Holscher, Senator Gossage, and Senator Thompson. Thank you for group 2. If you want to make your way efficiently towards the exit, we'll go ahead and start welcoming in the families of Group 3. We'll go ahead and proceed to Group 3. Senator Warren, Senator Tyson, Senator Schellenberger, Senator Fagg, Senator Peck. Please make your way to the front. Senator Tyson? There she is. The families of Group 3 would go ahead and mind their way to the exits as we welcome in Group 4. The clerk has let me know that there is a record-breaking number of floor passes requests. As a House member, we never gave those away, so you all unique. But that being said, we'll let Group 4 in. Group 4, if you please make your way to the front. That'd be Senator Masterson, Senator Argabright, Senator Titus, Senator Schmidt, and Senator Dietrich. If Group 4 will find their way to the exits, we can allow Group 5 in. We'll go ahead and, again, please put your phones on silent. That's 2 strikes. And it's not even spring training yet. That being said, let's go ahead and welcome Group 5, Senator Sykes, Senator Starnes, Senator Thomas. Slight emendation. We'll go ahead and bring Senator Blasey up and Senator Ware. Group 5, if you'd mind towards the exit so we can go ahead and let in Group 6. Okay, we'll work on Group 6, and again, a slight emendation. Senator J.R. Clays and Senator Joseph Clays, Senator Peterson, Senator Faust-Godot, and Senator Erickson. And if we can go ahead and have the families of Group 6 go ahead and make their way to the exit so we can allow in Group 7. Okay, we'll go ahead and work on Group 7. Senator Owens, Senator Alley, Senator Blue, Senator Murphy, and Senator Rose. Families, thank you for joining us in the Senate today. If Group 7 can go ahead and make their way to the exit, we'll go ahead and allow in Group 8. And I do believe Group 7 was the biggest group of the day. And this will be the final group. We'll go ahead and go with Group 8. Senator Bowers, Senator Shane, Senator Reichman, Senator Clifford, and Senator Billinger. Justice, thank you so much for giving the oath today. Before you guys go off to whatever reception you're going off to after you're done here, remember to visit the Secretary of the Senate to sign your oath of office, because you are still not a senator till you sign that. Am I right, Corey? So I'm going to say again, do not forget to sign your oath, because invariably someone gets excited and they forget, and then they got to chase you down at said reception. So clerk, we'll go ahead and read the caucus reports.
Majority Party Caucus on December 2nd, 2024. The members elected the majority party of the Senate have met and caucused as required by KSA 46-142 and have selected the following officers for the term. Senate officers, President of the Senate, Ty Masterson. Vice President of the Senate, Tim Schallenberger. Caucus Party officers, Majority Leader, Chase Blasey. Assistant Majority Leader, Karen Tyson. Majority Whip, Rick Cluse. Ty Masterson, the chairperson, and Majority Party Caucus. The Minority Party Caucus on December 2nd, 2024. The members-elect of the party or minority party of the Senate have met and caucused as required by KSA 46-142 and have selected the following officers for the term. The caucus party officers, the minority leader is Dinah Sykes. The assistant minority leader is Aletha Faust Goudreau. The minority whip is Cindy Holscher. The agenda chair is Marcy Francisco. The caucus chair is Ethan Corson. Dinah Sykes, chairperson of the Minority Party Caucus.
We'll now elect senators for the Senate. The chair recognizes Senator Blasey for a nomination for President of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. It's my pleasure today to nominate the senator from Butler, Senator Ty Masterson, as President of the Senate.
Is there a second? Senator Sykes.
I second the nomination of Senator from Butler, Senator Masterson.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, Senator Masterson will be elected by acclamation. For a nomination for the Senate Vice President of the Senate, the chair recognizes Senator Blasey.
Mr. Secretary, I nominate the senator from Cherokee, Senator Tim Schallenberger, as Vice President of the Senate.
Is there a second? Senator Sykes.
Mr. Secretary, I second the nomination of the Senator from Cherokee, Senator Schallenberger.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, Senator Schallenberger, you are elected by acclamation as Vice President of the Senate. Will Senators Blasey and Sykes please escort Senator Schallenberger to the front of the chamber for his oath of office as Vice President? I got to put these back on to make sure I read it right. Will Senators Blasey and Sykes please escort Senator Ty Masterson to the front of the chamber for his oath of office as President? Mr. President, the gavel is yours.
Ready or not, here we go, right? I'm deeply humbled and honored to have regained. I mean, there's things when you have a position for a while, you make lots of mistakes and issues pop up, but deeply humbled by the confidence of this chamber in putting your confidence in me as a leader of this chamber. I would like to say welcome to those that are brand new and those that are new transplants from the House. This does operate a little different, right? So it's I had that same learning curve, so that we're gonna have fun with that. I'd also like to thank all of your families, that not just the ones that are here, particularly the ones that are your close family that are also gonna make a sacrifice like you're going to make. Mine in particular is right here. I've not had, so at least I have most of my children, and I have all my grandchildren. Yeah, I think I've got, for those that don't know, this is my wife. We have 6 kids, 5 of them are here, and then 5 grandkids are there. We got 6 and 7 on the way. So, but that's the sacrifice, right, that they put up with when we come up here. And what I'd really like to encourage, I congratulate you on winning your election, but you're about to have to shift gears, right? We go out and do things in elections, put out a message and you get elected. It's a different operation inside this chamber. Right, now we need to harmonize to the best of our ability. I really want you to look at that other person and assume the best. I think everybody here has a best intention of making Kansas a greater state, but we simply disagree sometimes on what that means or how we get there. So I ask you to do that because we will have passionate debates. Preach it. There'll be tears, right? There'll be emotion. We'll get angry at times, but I'm telling you, take a step back, take a breath. You may need that very person on the next round. And it's really something that we're losing in general society, is that ability to have a very difficult conversation on a very complicated subject and still love the person on the other end of the argument. So I ask that of you. With that, I pray every day for you guys, the same prayer I pray for myself. I want you to have discernment for the situation that's in front of you, because you're going to have 1,000 different things hit you. They'll have the wisdom to do the right thing in that situation and the courage to actually do it. So anyway, thank you all for being here, and thank you for that vote of confidence. Make sure I'm in the right spot. Chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Sykes.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, staff, members of the press, my fellow Kansans. We gather again to serve our neighbors as we start the 2025 legislative session. Mr. President, on behalf of the Senate Democratic Caucus, congratulations on your reelection as President of the Kansas Senate. Congratulations to the other Senate Republicans representing your caucus in their positions of leadership. To my fellow Democratic senators, thank you for trusting me to lead the caucus for the next 4 years. Welcome to the new members of the Kansas Senate. I'm pleased to welcome our new member, Patrick Schmidt, and we look forward to you joining in the proud tradition of service. Welcome to my new Republican colleagues. I look forward to learning your stories and understanding what motivates you to work for the people of Kansas. To our families and friends joining us in person or watching online, thank you for your support. Thank you especially to my family for their love and support. Jeffrey, William, and Tyler, we've walked down this path together since my first run for office, and I know the sacrifices that we've all made to serve our neighbors. And I am deeply thankful for each of you. And as a moment of personal pride, congratulations to William for graduating from college a semester early this past December. Today we celebrate the hardworking people of Kansas. We are a people who work hard to provide a better future for our children. We are a people who believe in the opportunity for each of us to take our God-given talents and develop them to build a strong future for our families and our communities. We are people who, given the chance, take the opportunity and make a difference. Like many other states in our great nation, we face challenges. While we work hard, often that hard work benefits shareholders and corporations, leaving workers and their families behind. Senate Democrats support policies that generate good jobs, that provide wages that allow families to get ahead. And I look forward to collaborating on policies that reward workers and help them put food on the table and care for their families. I'm proud of how Kansans understand that families thrive in communities. Kansans show up for each other. We all know what it's like to help a neighbor. We cheer on each other's kids. We celebrate the examples of leaders like Jimmy Carter, who embodied a faith that valued every person as neighbor, both close to home and across the world. He dedicated his life to making the United States live up to the ideals of justice and equality. Justice and equality is allowing every person the opportunity to meet their God-given potential. We know that starts with the very earliest days of each child's life. Investing early in developing a child's potential pays dividends for the lifetime. Our children are our most valuable resource. Beyond those early days, Kansans understand the critical role that education plays in our children's lives. It's so important to us as a state that we put it in our Constitution. We know that community pride we have around our public schools that are often the anchor of our communities. And that importance isn't rural, urban, or even a suburban issue. And as we look to support strong educational outcomes, we must choose policies that help every single Kansas child. We must support our educators and ensure that they have what they need to invest in the lives of our children. We've worked to bring funding for education to constitutional acceptable levels, and that work is not yet finished. We must not turn back now, and we must fully fund special education. Together, those of us elected by voters have the opportunity to address the issues that make a difference in people's lives. We could be distracted by cultural wars, but doing that only divides us. Kansans want us to partner together to make this state the best place to live, work, and raise a family. Mr. President, my Senate colleagues, the issues Kansans face are not red or blue, and we must honor the people who sent us here. They expect us to roll up our sleeves, check our egos at the door, and work to make things better for all the residents of our state. So Senate Democrats are ready to set aside ideological agendas to serve the needs of every Kansan, and we hope you will join us in that honest and honorable work. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, we're going to pause for introduction. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Keith Ratzlaff, President of Kansas Academy for Family Physicians, and he's the doctor. He runs Doctor of the Day program here in the State House. Understand he's in the back of the room. Oh, right here. All right. Welcome. Thank you for your service. Introduction of original motions and Senate resolutions. Clerk will read.
Senate Resolution Number 1701 by Senators Masterson, Blasey, and Sykes, a resolution relating to the organization of the Senate. Be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Kansas that the Secretary of the Senate notify the House of Representatives that the Senate is organized with the following officers: Ty Masterson as the President, Tim Schallenberger, Vice President, Chase Blasey, Majority Leader, Dinah Sykes, Minority Leader, Corey Carnahan, the Secretary, Don Cackler, Sergeant at Arms, and awaits the pleasure of the House of Representatives.
Chair recognizes the Majority Leader from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move an emergency be declared, the rules suspended, and Senate Resolution 1701 be adopted by voice vote.
For the motion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Clerk will read.
Senate Resolution Number 1702 by Senators Masterson, Blasey, and Sykes, a resolution relating to the assignments of the seats of the Senate.
Chair recognizes the Majority Leader from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey.
Mr. President, I move an emergency be declared, the rules suspended, and Senate Resolution 1702 be adopted by voice vote.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Before we read this next one, in case everybody didn't get the message, this is the resolution on temporary rules. So he'll read this, and then we'll refer, and we'll come back with the rules either later this week or next week. But I didn't want anybody to think we're trying to hammer down on a permanent set at this point. Clerk will read.
Senate Resolution Number 1703 by Senators Masterson, Blasey, and Sykes, a resolution providing temporary rules for the Senate until permanent rules are adopted.
Chair recognizes Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey.
Mr. President, I move an emergency be declared and the rules suspended and Senate Resolution 1703 be adopted by voice vote.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Introduction of bills and concurrent resolutions. Clerk will read.
Senate Bill Number 1 by Senator Titus, an act exempting the state of Kansas from daylight savings time. Senate Bill Number 2 by Senators Blue and Clifford, an act concerning school districts. And Senate Bill Number 3 by Legislative Post-Audit Committee, an act concerning health and health care.
This constitutes introduction of Senate Bill 1 through Senate Bill 3. Clerk will read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 1601 by Senators Masterson, Blasey, and Sykes, a concurrent resolution informing the governor that the two houses of the legislature are duly organized and ready to receive communications. Be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Kansas, the House of Representatives concurring therein, that the Secretary of the Senate and the Chief Clerk of the House of Representatives be appointed to wait upon the governor and inform the governor that the two houses of the legislature are duly organized and are ready to receive any communications the governor may have to present.
Chair recognizes the Majority Leader from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey.
Mr. President, I move an emergency be declared, the rules suspended, and Senate Concurrent Resolution 1601 be adopted by voice vote.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Messages from state officers. Clerk will read.
Pursuant to KSA 74-4303, I am reappointing Richard Samingo as the chair of the Crime Victims Compensation Board. Sincerely, Chris W. Kobach, Attorney General. To the Senate of the State of Kansas, submitted herewith for confirmation by the Senate, are appointments made by me as the governor of the state of Kansas pursuant to law. Public member of the State Banking Board, Herbert Eames. Secretary of the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks, Christopher Kennedy. Kansas Child Advocate, Office of the Child Advocate, Carrie Lawnard. Brigadier General of the Kansas National Guard, Paul Schneider. Member of the CD2 Banker, State Banking Board, Taylor Height. Commissioner of the Kansas Lottery Commission, Margaret LaRue. CD1 Banker, State Banking Board, Irvin Mitchell. CD4 Kansas Racing and Gaming Commission, David Moses. Industry Representative, Kansas Human Rights Commission, Crystal Watson. At-large member of the State Banking Board, Leonard Wolf. State Long-Term Care Ombudsman, Haley Ordone. And Regent of the Kansas Board of Regents, Kathy Wolf Moore. Sincerely, Laura Kelly, the Governor.
This constitutes introduction of those appointments previously read. A listing of official reports received during the 2024 interim will appear in the January 13th Senate Journal. Before adjourning, are there announcements? Senator from Lynn, Senator Tyson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a couple of announcements. One, I have one bill on my desk for co-sponsorship and a constitutional amendment for co-sponsorship. And the tax committee Wednesday meeting has been rescheduled. We will have those items next week that were scheduled for Wednesday. We will not be meeting on Wednesday. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any further announcements? Seeing none, Chair recognizes the Majority Leader from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey. Oh, excuse me, hold that. Senator from Johnson, Senator Gossage.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Public Health will meet tomorrow morning at 8:30.
Thank you. Any further announcements? Senator from Johnson, Senator Thompson.
Congratulations, Mr. President. As long as we're doing this, by the way, Fed and State will meet tomorrow at 10:30 for our first meeting in 144 South. Thank you, Mr. President.
Anything further? You did just remind me, I'm going to have to start learning some new counties. So this is going to, it goes quick. Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate adjourn until 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, January 14th, 2025.
You heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We're adjourned.